Okay, so let's talk about a little bit about Pam. Pamela has been in the food industry for a long time. Back in the 70s, the first restaurant she opened was called a chain of restaurants in the Fort Worth area called Dos Gringos. It was a Tex-Mex style restaurant that quickly multiplied and making Pamela an established restaurateur in the Fort Worth area there in Texas. And then in the late 80s, she sold her booming franchise and decided to explore another passion of hers, wine. And that will lead up to when I talk about Irv. Irv's in the back there. He's going to get his stuff ready with his associates there because they're a husband and wife team with their company, Seize the Vine. We'll talk about that in a little bit there. Anyway, so Pamela has been in the industry. She's been in the food industry, working with wine distributors. Really, she got to really fine-tune her knowledge, not only in food, but also in wine, and doing sales and everything else with the company as well. Then, see, Pamela's never happy. She's always ever changing. You see this here at the OC Fair. Then she decided to go back to her culinary roots and open up Creative Capers, a corporate dining services catered more than 3,000 employees a day. Oh, that's fun. Not 300, 3,000. Where her culinary prowess really took flight, and Pam decided that no matter what career she will pursue, her heart will always be back to food. Then, in 2003, Pamela switched gears and decided, see, she's never happy, I'm telling you. No, she's always happy. Anytime I see him, I always see him with a smile. Even after the 30th day at the OC Fair, she still did it with a smile there. But I think that was more of like, oh my gosh, it's coming to an end. Doesn't that 30 days just go by like this? Yeah, right. Anyway, so she switched gears. She became a party planner as a corporate wife and a senior vice president of sales for a wine distributor. And then it led her into organizing, catering, and decorating for corporate functions for about 12 years. So, Pam is a mother, a grandmother, of course a wife, you know, Irv back there, husband, a UCCE Master Gardener, UCC Master Food Preserver, award-winning cook. In fact, she probably what led her to getting into the fair, I'm just theorizing here, sometimes I just make things up as I want. She's won so many blue ribbons. She actually made a whole outfit out of them from winning at all the fairs for her award-winning pickles and vinegars and jams and chutneys, olives, kombucha, sauerkraut, yogurt, and then even somehow pro bono doing volunteer work and teaching young kids where their food comes from, by plant, by animal, and teaches adults how to preserve. Has anybody been to her Sentinel Farms yet? You know where the OC Fair is? Has any of you been to her classes? Yes, Derek's going to keeps on requesting to go there, so he loves to cook too at home. Anybody you find out the listens, we just love to cook. I'm the chef at home actually too as well. But anyway, and then of course in the last few years where Irv and Pamela went into business together and Seize the Vine. We'll find out a little bit about Seize the Vine later, so hold that into your pocket for now. Pamela's personal business philosophy is food and wine is a magical journey of life. My introduction here, Pamela Wnuck, Master Preserver, and she will be sharing two of our award-winning canning processes because this is the season that you do it, and I call her my good friend, and thank you for coming. And she will introduce her whole entourage of people. And these are the people you work with at Sentinel Farms as well, and the OC Fair and whatnot. Okay, so Pamela.
Okay.
All right.
So I would like to introduce Janet Shanks. She is my right-hand person.
Janet, come on out.
And she's also University of California Cooperative Extension Master Food Preserver, so it's apropos that she be here today. And I'd also like to introduce Edie Young. She is the Agriculture Education Supervisor at the Orange County Fair grounds.
Official taster.
So she's here to assist today. We were supposed to have Sarah DeLue and Natalie, but they've had a car boo-boo. They had an accident on the way. And as you know, that Sarah's a UCCE Master food preserver, so she was going to help. So we're going to have just Evie and Janet today, but hopefully they can make it as well. So I'm excited for you guys to get to make something today. Raise your hand if you have canned before. Okay, we've had a few. Raise your hand if you have steam canned before. Okay, we got 3. All right, good. The reason that I chose to steam can as opposed to water bath canning is, I'm going to come right over here. So this right here is our typical water bath canner, pressure canner. Okay, I used to water bath can every single thing until the USDA approved the steam canner a couple of years ago for home preservation. The reason, and I'm going to let Sue figure out why I choose the steam can versus water bath can. So Sue, if you can pick up the water bath canner. All it has in there is 2 inches of water over a pint of the Vietnamese pickle today. Hey, there you go. Now pick up the steam canner. There you go. So this right here holds 4.5 quarts of water. The steam canner just holds a little over 2.5 quarts of water. So you can see the difference. You can see that just the water that we have in there. And then we'll open this one up, and you guys can see how much water we have to have in there. So we do our community better by using less water, less waste, and it's easier on our muscles as well. And whenever I water bath can at home, I always have to call Herb to come in and lift the pot from the sink, take it to the stove, and then I ask him to take it outside to dump and water the plants after the water's cooled. So that's the reason. So it does, yeah. Well, actually, yes, yeah, you're done. So Sue's right in the sense that it takes less time because, of course, it takes less time to heat up 2.5 inches of water in that pot versus warming up all the water in the big pot. So, but that's it's all been approved now by the USDA. So steam canner costs about $40, $45 on Amazon. As a University of California Cooperative Extension Master Food Preserver, I'm not supposed to promote any one product. But I can tell you that I use Victorio, and the reason being is because once that your pressure canner has a steady stream of steam coming out, it means it's ready. So if I can get all of you to turn down your fire all the way to low. Actually, you can just turn them off for right now. Okay? And if you look on top of the canner, you will see the dial, and it's in the green zone. And the green zone means that it's time to set your timer. Okay? But you all can just turn it off for right now. All of your jars are in the canner that you'll be using this afternoon. So today we get to can 2 different items. The first one that you're going to can today is going to be the Vietnamese carrot daikon pickle. And then the second one is going to be the cranberry chutney. And your staff here at Melissa's was kind enough to julienne all the carrots and the daikon for you. And I heard it took them 3 hours. So let's give it up for Melissa. And on your daikon recipe, what you're going to do is you're going to add your liquids into your pot. You're going to bring that up to just a slight boil. Then you're going to pour it into your jar. And then you're going to have a, let's see what your head space is going to call for. Your head space is a 1/2 inch. So this is a head space tool. So it'll be to the second notch right here, but you can also tell on your jar. So if you fill it up to just under this line, that's a 1/2 inch right there. So you want to use this. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Yes. Okay. And then what you're going to do, you're going to wipe off the jar, and then you're going to put your lid on. Now, being a little bit OCD that I am, if this says cur and this says cur, then I line it up, just like that. And then you put on your ring. Hold your finger off to the side. Do not push down in the center. You'll get a false seal. Hold it off to the side. Gently screw it on. Just like that. Then give it a little bit, a fingertip tight. And that's it. You don't need to torque it. Okay? So just a little fingertip tight. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna use your jar lifter. You're going to pick it up, and you're gonna go like a crane, up and over to the water bath canner and set it down. You're gonna set your timer for 10 minutes, and then when 10 minutes goes off, reset your timer for 5 minutes after you take the lid off, taking the lid and pushing it away from you so you don't get steam in your face. And then after 5 minutes, you're going to pick up your jar, again like a crane, and then you're gonna set it on your table, okay? Any questions with that? Okay.
Yeah.
Jars are in here?
The jars are in there warming up right now, okay?
Let me have that.
Okay, so then what you're gonna do is if you have any liquid left, you can dump it out over here, wipe out your pot, and then we're gonna get ready for our second recipe. So your second recipe today is gonna be the cranberry chutney. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to combine your cranberries right here. You're gonna chop your onions right here, which you're gonna need 1.5 cups. You've got measuring cups at each station. And then you're gonna need your candied pineapple, your garlic, your ginger, your orange zest. I don't know if you guys brought a zester or not, but
Yes.
okay, if you didn't, I brought a couple of them up here. And in the refrigerator, I think, Robert, if you can get us out the orange juice, and we've got the orange juice here for you. Also, we have all this beautiful ginger, and you're gonna put that all into the pot, okay? And then you're gonna bring it to a boil. Now, don't turn up your fire really high and boil out all of your juice. Turn it up to medium, let it kind of come up to a boil, and then bring it back down. Each recipe should give us 6 half-pint jars. If you end up with 5 half-pint jars, you boiled out too much of the liquid, okay? So just be conscious of this. We are using butane today. We're not using your home cooktop, so it is a bit different, okay? Now, if you end up with 5, your chutney's still gonna be just fine. Nothing's gonna be wrong with it, okay? Then later, you're gonna add your sugar, your raisins. Look at these beautiful golden raisins right here. Then you're gonna add your water, we've got up here, and then your dry spices. So all you have to do is pick up 1 container, and all of your 3 dry spices are right inside there, okay? Any questions? Okay, then you're going to stir that all together. I think you're gonna cook it 5 or 10 minutes, and then you're gonna ladle it into your jar using, again, your headspace. You do 1/2 inch, but put your headspace tool in there and remove all the air bubbles. And do that also with your Vietnamese pickle. So just remove air pockets, and then if you need to add a little bit more, add a little bit more liquid.
Thank you. You're amazing. You are amazing. Do you know you are amazing? Yes, water in this one, right? We have water in this one. Just drain it. Yeah.
Wrap it in tight.
Will you peel the ginger, or shall we just go without peeling?
I told them now they're only going to do whatever's on the table. Like, I went back
And break them all.
Oh, they're up there.
Oh, so like all 4 layers.
I have quite a few of these stoves. I'm going to order some.